All right, friends, so now I'll show you how I go about drawing the beloved Kilauea Lighthouse, okay? And I tell you what, you can just use a pencil. I'll be using a pen to start with. And remember in the beginning to press softly. How are we going to press? Softly, that's right. We'll press softly so that we don't dig into the paper. In case you want to adjust your lines that you made, maybe move them around, erase, ignore, but if you press too hard, you're kind of stuck with that line, yeah? So in the beginning, we're going to press softly. And I'm just going to put a line across the bottom of the page right there. And that's where the lighthouse will begin. Now the base of the lighthouse is going to be like a long rectangle, but a little skinnier on the top and a little bigger on the bottom, yeah? And to do that, you can just kind of go and, eyeball it. You can also get something like a straight edge. Now a straight edge doesn't have to be a ruler. It can be something lying around the house that is straight on one edge. I'll use this book. I hope the owner's okay with that. And ask people if you're going to use books for this. What if you get pen marks on it and they didn't want pen marks on it, But here, we'll make kind of a long base that's a little bigger on the bottom than it is on the top, okay? All right. And I'll kind of have it coming down a little bit, and I'll make the bottom line a little bit curved in that direction. Because we're looking straight at this part right there, so it's nice and flat. But even as we go up, we're starting to look up the lighthouse. Our line's got to start curving. And right here is going to be a lens room, yeah? It's the part that makes the light shine, and it's got all these prisms, and they shoot it into a beam and miles out to sea. Yeah, that all happens right here. I know you can't see it yet because I haven't done it yet. But we're going to make like a little square part right here. Maybe a little taller than a square, okay? So, and this will come a little bit inside of our lines there. It's not quite as wide as the base. And the cap, I call it the cap. I don't know if it's the hat or the top of the lighthouse, but it'll have a line that's curved just slightly this way, because now we're starting to look up at it, so the lines are going to curve a little bit, okay? And let's just kind of make them angle out here and a little more curved like that too. Yeah? And then on top of that, we got another shape, like a triangle. The triangle goes like that to the edges. Yep. But that's not all. On top of the triangle, well, we got, now you can start with a little rectangle and a ball on top of it. Okay? And on top of that ball, they put a spike. You know why they put a spike? I think, and I'm pretty sure it's so the birds don't just sit on top of there and have a ball all day, Anyway, if I was a bird, I would. Okay, now let's make the base of the lens room. That will come out a little wider than the rest of the lighthouse. Put the floor there. It's like a long, skinny rectangle. Okay, so I'm just kind of forming it up. I'm already seeing that I got that line a little wrong. I'm going to go ahead and angle this out a little more. Yeah, so that's why we don't press so hard in the beginning, in case we want to adjust lines and stuff. And I'm seeing that I have to adjust a little bit of lines here. So I'll do it with my pen. You do it with your pencil if you need to. Okay, I tell you what, let's start with the door, okay? The door is going to be facing right at us. And let's just start with a simple rectangle. Okay? Because you can make a simple lighthouse or you can make a very detailed lighthouse. I started simple, and then those of you that want to get really detailed, well, you know what to do. Get really detailed. Okay? Now there's a little box on top of the door, and there's a triangle part on it too. Okay? So like I said, you can make this simple or you can make it very detailed. You got a little landing area right there, a little brick area in front of the lighthouse. We also got a little bit of a base, and it's a little bit curved right there. Now let's put a square there where a window is or was. Sometimes they've had windows there, and sometimes they go and cover the windows up over all the years they're not as useful, and so they'll maybe cover it up. But you can go ahead and put a little window cross in there, and you know, that's a window. Now under here we can also make a line about that big, and we'll put some braces holding the floor up, okay? All right, just like this. Yeah, and they come right down there. And when you get to look at the lighthouse, you'll see how these braces are, how they're formed, whether you want to get real detailed or just vague on them, okay? Now for the lens itself, it's like a big round lens. Show you some pictures inside later, but we'll just make a big, kind of a big oval there in the middle, okay? And on top of that, you're going to see the pattern of all the braces that hold the glass of the Kilauea Lighthouse. The Kilauea Lighthouse is a very unique lens room, brace and glass shape. The glass is curved. Yeah, they're not just flat panels like Makapu or many of the lighthouses around the world. So first of all, there is a door there. Okay. And next to that, we're going to make some diagonal lines, okay? We're going to make diagonals going this way. See what I'm doing? Okay, and we're going to make diagonals going the other way. So this is a characteristic of the Kilauea Lighthouse, these diagonal lines, okay? And you can do what you want with the lens in there. It's got a double bullseye lens, and then you can make those as detailed as you want or not. Okay, and right there, we just kind of formed up our Kilauea Lighthouse. There is some windows in here. They used to be vents. Now I think they're sealed off, but you still can see them. So some squares in there. All right, now the last thing I'm going to do for forming it up is I'm just going to put a little bit of bushes over here. They got some bushes and a fence. And beyond the bushes and a fence, they got the horizon of the ocean. So you can make a, flat line. If you really want to get it flat, you go pick up a book, And you just make a choice whether you want to get that accurate or you just want to freehand it. Okay, now I'm going to take a bigger pen and just go over my outlines of my shapes of the lighthouse, a little bit of the background, and putting a little more detail, okay? Not the head, but detail. You heard that joke already, yeah? All right, I'll start with the base of the lighthouse, and I'll just come straight down to the bottom. Okay, I'll start with the base right there, and again, you can do this freehand, or you can get, a straight edge or something, okay? And now I'm just going to kind of go along the lines, the ones that I want to keep, and create the details of what I've outlined earlier. Okay, now I'm going to put some lines for the base of the lawn here. And some for the bushes behind the lighthouse. And of course a little horizon there. There's an island back there too if you want to put the island. Mokuai is the name of the island. You can make the shape of the lens. It's okay if you want to distort it or anything. Up here, you can kind of go and look at the lighthouse and see the shape of what it looks like right under that ball. And then put the ball in there. And of course, a little spike on the top so the birds don't sit on it. Then remember those diagonal crisscross lines for the braces of the lens room. Yeah, the glass in the lens room. These are going to be kind of like curved crisscrosses. There's going to be a door there. These little vent windows under the floor. All right. I tell you what, you can get that pen, a pencil, or another pen, and you can start putting some shading on your lighthouse, and you can put things in the sky. Like what goes in the sky? Birds, yeah. Clouds. Okay, but just have a good time shading the lighthouse. Maybe you can shade half of it, like the sun's coming from there. Don't forget your signature. I'm going to put a little railing up here. Some lines coming down here. And you can put whatever kind of details you want, whatever kind of animals you want. You put birds on the lawn, in the sky. Have a good time. Put you and your family in there. I'd love to see what you did. So why don't you go ahead and send it to aloha@patrickching.com. Bye-bye.